So yeah, I think this might be something to do with the decision, that you were kind of procrastinating with something, and then you kind of realized that it had to happen all of a sudden. You were dreading it, you didn't want to do it. I think deep down you knew you had to do this. I'm just getting this feeling of dread around this. It was like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. And I think maybe you tried to stall this in some way. I think you probably tried to talk to someone, talk your way out of doing this or whatever this was. But, the decision was taken out of your hands, I think, in the end. The tower just came down. You just had to do this. There was no going back. You couldn't get out of this. And, this happened quickly. That's what the tower's all about. It happened really quickly. And you just realized that you just had to go along with whatever this was. And I think this might have, I don't know, I'm just seeing this might have something to do with moving, changing locations, something like that. Something about being in a different location or moving, or a different situation, a completely different situation than you were in before. Something like that. And, I think this was a practical thing. I think you had to do this for practical reasons. It was some kind of practical necessity. It might be because you could only afford a certain thing and you had to move. It might be because you had to go to another situation. It might have been a different job. It was something that you had to go. It was a complete change, Now, I don't think you've made this move yet, or whatever this is. There's still a lot of preparation I'm seeing that you still need to do before this actually happens. But yeah, I think there were two things happening here. A practical upheaval. You knew that you had to do a lot of work and fix things up and get things ready and all of that. And you just felt, I don't have time to do this. It's so hard. I just don't know how to do this. That kind of thing. And then I'm seeing also there might have been some emotional ties that you knew you might have to leave behind when you kind of made this move or whatever this was. And there's a lot of hurt around this, very emotional. I think this hurt you to have to do this, and you had to, and it really hurt you. I don't know if this is going to make any sense, but I think you might have had some memories and some emotions around these memories, and then doing this thing meant that you were going to have to leave some of these memories behind. I hope that makes sense. That's how you felt. But this is the tower. It had to be done. So I think you just had to accept that in the end. You were still holding on to the old. You were still kind of resisting. But I think deep down you knew that you had to do this. And, it was a bit upsetting for you, but you were like, I just have to. I know I have to. That's what I'm getting around that. The next card you have your past is the Ten of Wands. So yeah, this might have literally been about moving. Maybe it wasn't, but it might have been. With this poor man carrying these wands, he's moving them along. But this was quite overwhelming for you. This was something that you were sort of, you're forced into this because of this practical necessity. I'm getting this feeling that if money was no option, you wouldn't be doing this at all. Well, a lot of us wouldn't be doing things if money was no option, of course. But I think, that's making me think that there was money involved. Maybe you couldn't afford one situation and you had to go into another one. Or maybe it was, I don't know, something around money, I think. But I'm not saying this just to make you feel better. I think... I think when this is all over, you're going to realise this isn't as bad as it seems. I think you're going to realise this is actually okay. It's not so bad. There are lots of problems around this, of course. There are logistical problems, practical problems, all kinds of stressful kind of things. But I think the emotional problems aren't going to be so bad for you. I think you are going to feel a lot better when this is all over, and I think you'll actually be a lot happier in the new situation. This man, if you look at this man, he's obviously struggling. He's carrying all these wands, but he's heading to this beautiful home. And he can't see it because he has these wands in front of his face. So maybe you can't see this blessing in disguise, and you probably won't see this blessing in disguise until you're actually there. So I'm seeing you going into this new situation, settling down, still not quite realizing, still resisting, still saying, oh, I wish this wasn't happening, I wish this wasn't happening. Then after a while, you're kind of going to settle into this, and then you'll look back and you'll say, actually, that was good. I'm glad I did that. I'm so much better off. I'm so much happier. Why didn't I do this before? That kind of thing. That's what I'm seeing around that. And I'm not just saying that. I'm really not. The last card you have for your past is the King of Cups. So maybe a part of this holding on, this resistance to moving into this new situation that you're kind of feeling, maybe this had something to do with finally letting go of someone as well, or the idea of someone, the idea of a person. There might have been someone who I think you might have still had some hope for someone. You might have been secretly hoping for reconciliation with someone. And I'm saying secretly because this king's sitting on top of this water, and he's sitting on top of his emotions. He doesn't want anyone to know how he's really feeling. He's kind of sitting on top of it, he's hiding it. But I don't think this meant that you had to leave anyone behind. I don't think that at all. I think you might have been just imagining all of this and adding to the stress, going, oh, and this also means I'm going to have to leave this behind as well, and it means that, and it means that. I'm getting this feeling that you're kind of you had this catastrophic, I can't say catastrophic, you had this kind of catastrophizing. You had this catastrophic kind of way of thinking about this. I'll say catastrophic because I don't know how to say catastrophizing. Yeah, you were feeling as if this was a kind of a great big disaster, basically. I'll say that. And, I think stress can do that to you sometimes. It can make things feel so much worse than they actually are, especially when you're imagining things. You kind of don't know what you're going into because this man in the Ten of Wands has these kind of wands in front of his face. He can't see where he's going. So if you can't see where you're going, you're kind of like, oh, what's there? What's there? I don't know what's there. Help, help. I'm imagining it's this and it's that and it's bad. And it's all in the dark and I don't know what's there. It might be a monster or something terrible. So you're starting to imagine all these terrible things are going to happen and that you're going to leave this person behind and you're going to miss them and all of that kind of thing. I just think until this move happens or whatever this is happens, you're just not going to realize that this isn't you're not going to realize that this is actually okay. That's what I'm trying to say. You're actually going to be in a better position. You're going to feel a lot better after you've settled down, and you'll be in a much, much better position I think in a lot of different areas of your life, actually. And you'll have more confidence as well, because I think what's going to happen is you'll get into this situation, things will improve for you, you'll feel much more relaxed, you'll realize all of these terrible problems aren't happening, actually things are better, and then you'll settle down, you'll calm down and you'll feel more confident as well. That's what I'm seeing as well. So I'm sorry I'm kind of stumbling around that and I can't say words. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I hope that made some sort of sense with you. The first card you have for your present is the Four of Pentacles. So yeah, I think you're holding on to someone still. You're still holding on to this person in your mind. And I think you probably tried to let them go, but I don't think your heart would let them go. I think your heart wouldn't follow your mind. Your mind was saying let them go, but your heart wasn't going to do that. And again, I'm not seeing you even telling anyone about this. I think you weren't telling anyone at all how you're feeling. I think you might have even been feeling as if nobody would understand you, or maybe you're feeling like, well, there's just no point in telling people. Because, if you look at this man, he's got his back to the town where all the people are, so he's not interested in talking to any of those people. He's kind of has his back to them, and he's looking straight ahead as well. He's not noticing anyone who might be next to him or walk up around him or next to him or behind him or whatever. He's kind of looking straight ahead, a bit like a deer in the headlights actually. So you might even have other options coming up around you or next to you, talking to you, but you're focused on this person. Your focus is straight ahead. You're not looking at any of those people. I'm actually seeing one specific person who might be interested in you, but nobody else is on your mind. You're not interested in anyone else at this time. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your present is the Three of Cups. So again, I don't know whether you're going to believe this or not, but you are going to be better off. You are going to be much happier after you've made this change. You really, really are. I'm not making this up. I'm not saying it just to make you feel better. You are going to feel much better when you move into this new situation. It's going to be a blessing. It's going to be a blessing in disguise. It really, really is. And I'm really seeing this growing in your confidence as well in this card. Your confidence is really going to grow, and you're probably going to make a lot of new friends as well. I'm looking at this Four of Pentacles above this card, as well as this one, and I'm kind of looking at this transition between the two cards, from where you were or where you are now, holding on, resisting, feeling stuck, to where you're going after this change. Freedom, abundance, happiness, all of that kind of thing with these three women dancing around. And of course, it's not going to be 100% simple and seamless. You're not just going to kind of drop from one situation into the other one. There are a lot of ups and downs, practical things that you're going to have to do, a few headaches and that kind of thing. But this is when it's all over, when that process is all over, you've settled down, you're into wherever this new situation or place is, you are going to feel so, so much better. So try not to resist. You can't anyway, you've got the Tower. So just, you can't resist. So just go with the flow. Go with the flow of what's happening. The last card you have, your present, is the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm just seeing, I think there is hope. I think there is hope. Hope of some kind of reconciliation with this person in the King of Cups, or at least some kind of communication. I don't know if this is going to lead to love or friendship or whatever, but there is going to be some kind of connection, some kind of communication between you. I'm actually seeing some text messages, and I'm seeing them going backwards and forwards slowly, backwards, forwards, like your turn, my turn, that kind of thing. Now, this isn't going to be fast communication. This isn't going to be passionate communication. It's going to be very slow, very, very slow. I think this person has a lot on. They have a lot on in their life. They have work problems, they have family problems as well. And I think they're really just juggling everything like this man. They're trying to juggle everything. They're not going to have time to have a lot of conversations with you. And again, this is just for practical reasons. It's not because they don't want to talk to you. It's just because they have so much on. And you're going to be busy as well with this, or you are already, with this moving, whatever this is. You're also, you also have work, you have everything else you have to do. So yeah, this communication's slow. But don't be fed up with this. I mean, I know you really want this, but it's a start. I mean, slow is better than nothing. I mean, a while ago you had no communication. Now you have slow communication. So that's better than nothing. So it's a start. There's something happening. It's opening up. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have for your future is the Seven of Wands. So, yeah, you are going to be really busy, actually. I don't think you're going to have much time to talk to this person at all. I think you're going to be battling with a lot of work. I think you're going to be trying to get a lot of work done. You might have to put a lot of extra hours in, late nights even. You might even be working overnight to try to get everything finished. I hope you're going to be paid for all this extra work, because I am seeing a lot of extra work. I actually think there might be some kind of mistake or error that someone made, that something happened, and this is what has you kind of running around fixing this up. I don't think anyone's going to find out who made these mistakes or what happened or anything like that. I'm not seeing anyone coming forward or owning up. but there probably won't be a time to try to find out what's happened or who did it or whatever, because you're just going to be too busy. You're just going to be running around trying to fix all of these problems. I think everyone in your workplace is going to be doing that. You're just not going to have time to talk to anyone at all, especially this person in the Three of Cups. You're just not going to have time to talk to them. Or the Two of Pentacles, I should say. Yeah, the next card you have for your future is the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so again, I'm seeing work in this card as well. Excuse me. You're going to have your head down for a long, long time. I'm not getting a good feeling around this, actually, because I am actually seeing... I think people around your workplace are probably going to be a little bit suspicious of each other. I think a lot of people are going to be trying to find out who made these mistakes, what happened, all of that kind of thing, questioning each other. You know, I'm just looking at this man and he's looking back over his hard work. He's looking at what he's planted. And I think some people might be checking over other people's shoulders, looking over everyone's shoulders, checking people's work. Questioning, not trusting people, trying to find out who's at fault, who started all of this, all of that kind of thing. And this atmosphere is not going to be very good for a while. You know, I think, you know, but you're going to be too busy, I think, to be involved in any of this questioning or suspicion. I think you're just going to have your head down. You're just going to want to get on with it. But it's not going to be a very nice atmosphere for you. And I think maybe after a while you might even think about moving on from this workplace, because obviously they don't have proper systems, they don't have proper checks in place, they let these crazy kind of mistakes go on, and that means everyone has to suffer for it. And then you've got this kind of suspicious thing going on as well. So it's a horrible atmosphere. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, you might not move on, but I think you might. I think you might at least try to look for other jobs, maybe. That's what I'm seeing there. The last card you have for your future is the Magician. So yeah, this is a fantastic card. Yeah, I know that I know you had this person in the King of Cups on your mind, and you were one track. You were thinking about them on one track. You weren't thinking about anyone else. But I think at this time someone new might come into your life. I think this is someone who's going to take you by surprise, actually. I think you're going to be surprised at how attracted you are to this person, this other person again, this new person. I think, yeah, this is a really, really witty person. This is a really clever person. This is someone who's really smart. They're funny, they tell jokes, and they tell the kind of jokes that not everyone gets right away, but maybe they get it 10 seconds later. It's that kind of thing, and then everyone laughs. I hope you know what I'm talking about. This is a really, really smart person. This is a really intelligent person, and they're really fun to be around as well. I don't know if this is going to turn into anything serious, or even it might not turn into anything at all, but I think this is going to really make you think, because you know, you had your heart set on this other person and this reconciliation, but now this other person's kind of turning your head. So you might be opening your eyes to new possibilities. I'm not seeing that you're going to give up on this reconciliation. I think you still want it to happen, but I think you might be thinking to yourself, you know, this person isn't everything. There might be other options. So, you know, I don't want to just totally focus on that anymore. You know, I still want that reconciliation, I still want it, but there are other options as well. I'm not going to just completely close off to new people. So it was just kind of this slight shift happening. That's what I'm seeing there, to kind of open you up to new people.